legend no one will forget. Everyone thought King Koopa had left the Mushroom Kingdom, and then his doom ship attacked. King Koopa was back with the greatest danger ever known, his Koopa kids. Using their new superpowers, the Super Mario Brothers rescued Princess Toadstool and beat back the evil Koopa family. I'll get those plumbers!
Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Pixels in the Animation. I am one of your hosts, TF2 and Mike, and joining me is TV's Mr. Dale.
It's not like you're on television with millions of people watching you.
Yes. No, it's not. Oh, Lord. So, we are in the home stretch for the Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3, ladies and gentlemen. There are technically 3 podcast episodes left to dedicate to this cartoon, but really, episode 39 and 40 are the final 2 actual review episodes. The end is in sight, and I cannot believe when we get to episode 40 next time that I will actually be able to say, oh my god, the quote-unquote series finale was written by a writer that just normally doesn't write good crap, and it's probably one of the best episodes of the series.
Oh my god.
So, I'll tune in next time for that. What's going on with you with the CN Animation Aficionados, all the stuff you got going on?
Well, same thing as last time. We're at Animation Aficionados, we put up a video game episode because of the whole Gamergate thing. We wanted to have an episode of positivity as opposed to like warring.
Seriously?
Yeah. So we just talked about like video game reviewers that we like and.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all.
I was going to say, no offense to you, man, but positivity in that podcast does not compute.
We were pretty positive.
No, I know. With me, I have fully launched Remote Control, the new GCRN TV podcast, which discusses anything from 2000 to now. We're in the middle of our pilot premiere season where we talk about several of the new pilots. We'll be talking about Gotham. We'll be talking about Red Band Society, Scorpion, all these new shows that are coming up this year on the fall 2014, spring 2015 TV season. The pull bag is still going strong. I'm about to enter a phase of that where it's giant size episodes. Where we're going to do some countdowns for those episodes. Other than that, just getting through and struggling to get through this series.
You know what? On that note, on the topic of comics, I was on an episode of Comic Connoisseurs, which is Ben's other podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about Adam Warren, the comic artist who is best known for doing Dirty Pair and some issues of Gen 13, most notably the totally awesome Grunge the Movie comic that has to be read. It required reading.
Okay then. All right. Well, we're going to get into today's episodes. We'll be back after this.
Real world prison straight ahead, King Dad.
Prison. The only place in the real world with our kind of people.
What?
Okay, who else thinks they can beat me at basketball?
Crime wave, Clyde? Real world public enemy number 1?
If I wasn't, they wouldn't have put me in this here jail for 12,423 years with no parole.
This is your lucky day. King Dad just gave you a pardon.
Huh?
Got him, King Dad!
I want some answers. Who are you? Why'd you bust me up?
What kind of vehicle is this? And why are you still wearing those stupid reptile disguises?
Ah, let go of my nose!
No problem.
Whoa! Ow! These are not disguises. I am Bowser Koopa, King Koopa to you, and these little darlings are my Koopa kids.
So what do you want from me? I'm a super criminal, not an animal trainer.
Alright, first up tonight is Crimes Are Us. Oh, Lord, somebody's kill us now. Koopa recruits a criminal from the real world to teach the Koopalings how to commit crimes. Are you kidding me?
This was so stupid.
Seriously? Okay, would you say most of these kids, let's say, range between 3 and 11 years old?
I guess.
Somewhere around. I mean, I don't know how old the Koopa kids are. I mean, I would think that Hip and Hop, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe like 5 to 13. Bully has to be 13 or 14, unless he's just a, roided up 10-year-old. I don't know. So these kids are old enough, and Koopa has taught them lessons before about how to come. Why do you need to go to the real world and... Oh, God. And the guy keeps mentioning, Crime Wave Clyde keeps mentioning that he's in jail for like 12,437 years, no parole. Okay, I've watched a lot of crime shows in the last, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. And I'm talking about stuff like, FBI files and forensic files and, that kind of stuff.
My favorite
profiles. Huh?
Some of my favorite shows, actually.
Seriously? Wow.
I love that shit.
Okay, then. Well, that's another thing we have in common. Holy crap. Learn something new about your cost every day. But, stuff like, I don't know if you get the channel, but do you get Investigation Discovery? Yep. Like, stuff like Scorn Loved Kills and Homicide Hunter and all this and all that and everything else. So I've watched a lot of these shows, and I know that a lot of these really, really evil, depraved people that actually do exist do get, life sentences, or they get the death penalty, or they get the... But I don't think I've ever heard of someone getting 12,000, like, I've heard of someone getting, 300, 400, 500 years in jail. But essentially, that's a life sentence. I mean, why do they have to say that it's, you know what I mean? Why do they have to say the number? I mean, a life sentence is a life sentence. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if the writer of this episode, who was, I'm trying to see here and it doesn't say, if the writer of this episode said something like, if you really wanted to get cheesy with it, said that Clyde had 1,701 years or something like, 1701, like a Star Trek reference or something, that'd be funny. But it's like 12,000 something years and no parole. It's like, well, duh. I mean, I don't know. I did like him. I did like Clyde a little bit. I thought he was kind of cool. I think the only thing I liked about it, about the episode, the overall plot, was when he was actually trying to teach them about crime.
Right.
I'm like, okay, Koopa class, this, and this, and this. Like, I thought that was kind of cool. Because, I mean, these kids need some education at some point. You have any thoughts on the overall plot? Or lack of there?
Well, it's an original concept. It's something different from some of the other plots that we've had, where it's been like the Koopas trying to steal coins, the Koopas, just trying to cause random havoc. This one was let's get an actual murderer or whatever the hell this guy was in for. Let's get him to teach the Koopa kids how to do shit. So that was kind of a fun thing to do, to make jokes from, but I don't know. It wasn't, I didn't, I thought it was like a decent concept, but I didn't think the execution was all that great. It's probably the best episode in a while, at least since the babysitting episode.
Yeah.
And probably the best episode of this. Yeah, I think it is the best episode of this particular set.
Yeah, out of this set, it probably is. Because the next episode we'll talk about here in a little bit. They had to play on turning the kings into animals. But anyway, we are going to get to the Super Leaf and Patui moments after this.
Okay, Koopa class. Today we're gonna start with the basics. Lesson 1, bank robbery.
Hey, Luigi, you ever notice how clouds can look like other things? Like that one over there. Looks sort of like the princess.
Yeah, it sure does, Mario. And that one looks like Aunt Maria. Hey, but for realism, how about that one over there? It looks just like the Doom Ship. The Doom Ship!
Alright, we're going to do the Super Leafs and the Patui moments all in one. For Super Leafs, I thought the best part about this episode, okay, two best things, was like I said a second ago, having Clyde teach them and actually look like they're in a classroom. I thought that was hilarious. And then the only time I can really stand Big Mouth is in this episode, because he's basically stealing everything from everybody else instead of coming together. It's like, okay, bully, give me this. This is a loaded patooey and whatever else. And oh god, it's just hilarious. Was there anything about this one that you liked?
Just what I said before. It was an original concept that wasn't just them going back to the game and trying to find something to write a story about. It was like, let's think outside the box here. This kind of thing, it could be like an any cartoon type plot where it's just like, this could have been this could have been like a Sonic the Hedgehog where maybe Dr. Robotnik would get like a real criminal or something. Or it could have been any cartoon. So they were going in a different direction that is different than what we get out of this cartoon normally.
Yeah. The only Patui moment I have written down is an animation error, which happens all the time, but when Luigi grabs the fire flower, he does not change color.
That's what I have written down. Maybe they just didn't know, because they already have the colors like flipped on the characters, because at this point in the game, Luigi would have blue overalls and a green shirt, and they have it reversed. So when they went to do Fire Luigi, they were just like, what do we do? Or maybe they just didn't give the color keys to the Korean animes. I don't know, but yeah, that was fucked up. And it wasn't like it was wrong for like a couple shots. It was like the whole time there was no color change.
Yeah. No. Because in this cartoon, you need the effect of color change, or else how are we gonna know when they're when they get the super leaves and they get the raccoon power? As soon as they get hit, bit, whatever, the tail and the ears disappear. So with the fire flower, I mean, with Mario at least, even though he's orange instead of red and white, at least we know when he gets hit or bit or whatever else, or, shot at, that, he goes back to his regular, oh, okay, he no longer has that power. With Luigi, it's like, infinite fire flower forever. So, alright, we are gonna move on to the next great episode of this cartoon series. Yay!
Duck, you turkey!
Yo! Well, at least he warned me.
Libre ninny! Duck! What's wrong, Luigi? Are my floors dirty? Somebody mop this floor, pronto!
Your floors aren't dirty. You yelled duck.
Duck?
Not that kind of duck. My servant here doesn't know the difference between duck and turkey. So why are you here, lad?
Hey, the princess sent me. She's had a lot of complaints about you being a bully.
Me? A bully? Nonsense. I want my duck now! Now, I say! Honestly, a dog could be a better servant.
Might as well be a dog, the way King Windbag treats us.
A dog? What a bowser of an idea! Yeah, just the kind of trouble King Dad wanted us to cause when he told us to follow Luigi.
Where's my duck?
Hey, you really shouldn't bully your servants, King Windbag.
Don't just stand there like a lamppost. Show me the duck. What?
No duck here, Turkey! Whoa! Now King Windbag is King Fleabag!
Whoa!
And the pesky plumber's gonna be a mustache mutt!
Give me back my wand!
Up next is Life's Ruff. Where's Dennis the Menace when you really need him?
Oh my god. And that's Ruff spelled R-U-F-F.
That's why I
Yeah.
said, where's Dennis when you really need him?
Yeah.
Hip and Hop turn Luigi and the King of Iceland into dogs and run out to cause mayhem in Florida. Note, this is the only episode of the 3 Deke Mario shows that doesn't feature Mario himself.
That's true.
Huh.
But on the upside, it doesn't feature Toad either.
Yeah. That's true. So Life's Rough. It's they say that this king is the king of Iceland. So then what about the other king that was in Iceland, the Wizard King? The one with the wand that ordered his wand. He was from Iceland too, so
I thought Iceland had a woman president.
oh,
But
Lord. She couldn't win the election here, so Hillary went to Iceland. Oh Lord.
No, I mean wasn't the real
Yeah.
country Iceland had a woman president, didn't?
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
Probably. Anyway, so Life's Rough is basically it's your average 80s 90s cartoon episode that shows you need to treat others as you would like to be treated. Because this king is a pompous windbag. He orders everybody around, gives nobody any respect. This is, honestly, if you give him a little bit more money and you make him see 3 ghosts, this is essentially the Nintendo version of Scrooge McDuck. Well, Scrooge McDuck as Ebenezer Scrooge, I should say, because it's just, I don't know. And then they get turned into dogs is the rest of the plot. And then it has to, be a dog catching episode. And it's like, oh God, where's the tramp when you really need him?
Was it just me, or did the king look like Junior Grog?
Oh, it's just you. No, yeah, he does. That's so crazy. And Luigi. You mean to tell me that okay, I know people nowadays dress their dogs up and stuff like that, but you mean to tell me his hat's really going to stay on the whole time? Come on now.
I know. It's a cartoon.
I know.
Kind of like how his clothes disappear when he turns into the dog, but when he turns back, the clothes are back.
Yeah, it's a little strange. A little strange.
Magic.
Yeah. All right, we are going to get to the Super Leaves and Petunia moments after this.
Look out! A patooey!
Do it to you too, Mario. You make me so mad. I could spit.
All right, for Super Leaves, I do kind of like that we get an all hip and hop episode. It's been a while since we've had one with them. I think the last time they were creating mischief was back in Meet Your Mummy Mario or whatever the hell that episode was with the mummy. I think that was the last time we really saw just them. So I did like that. I also think that this is, as I already said, it's your standard treat others as you want to be treated kind of thing. And they even try to teach the dog catcher a lesson by turning him into a dog for like half of a second and then changing him back, and as a human he then scratches himself like a dog would. That it's too damn silly. It's just too damn silly. Anything enjoyable about this one?
I couldn't find anything. I remember this episode. I didn't like it then, and I don't like it now. And I'll get to why.
Okay. The only thing I have is another animation flub. The newscaster says it's a red sports car, yet the kids are in a blue one.
Yeah.
Because it originally was blue when they hopped into it, so maybe it was just a voiceover thing, not an animation error. But why don't you like this one?
Well, I've noticed in the last 7 or 8 episodes of this that there are a lot of social consciousness themes, and this one had a really heavy-handed message about bullying. And once that shit starts, I'm just out. I'm like, oh, fuck this cartoon. I don't need to be lectured by fucking Mario. So, yeah, I can't stand that. So, and there's going to be more of that.
Yeah, well, just turn on Cartoon Network any time of the day. I'm sure they play that rapping bully ad a lot. So, oh Lord.
No.
I mean, don't get us wrong, folks. Bullying is bad. You should not bully people. But if you're gonna do it if you're gonna send that message in a cartoon series in a very heavy-handed and not obsolete, but obvious kind of way, yeah.
I grew up on Bugs Bunny, a cartoon all about bullying.
Yeah, that's very true. All right, we are going to move on to the last episode of the day as we are up in a, I don't know.
Koopa?
We'll be back, yeah, something like that. We'll be back in a moment.
Toad, I thought you were going to fix me a bowl of healthy bran.
Ran out, but I found some wholesome hay.
Well, at least the pancakes look edible.
Yeah, they're really light.
Luigi, what's going?
Hey, what's going on? Yo, someone must have repeated the law of gravity.
Since the princess won't turn over her kingdom, I'll pull it up by the roots. The new Koopa Doopa Racer-Upper is working perfectly.
Well, of course it's perfect. After all, I invented it.
You did a fine job, Cookie. I always knew you were brighter than you looked. Soon everything in Mushroom Land will be levitated up to Sky World.
And no one can stop us, because we have the Skyworld's ruler, Emperor Ed, locked in the brig.
This is an outrage. When my people find out you've captured me, they'll revolt. They're extremely revolting people.
Finally up today is Up, and a Koopa. Ugh. Alright, so Kugi uses his new Razor Upper machine to levitate everything in the Mushroom Kingdom to the sky. In this episode, it is Princess Toadstool and Toad to the rescue, rather than the other way around.
Super Princess Peach.
Oh, God.
Except that she doesn't use her emotions as powers.
All I can think of is, where's Lucky when you really need him? Hearts, stars, and clovers, horseshoes, and blue moon. That's really all I can think of. This one is just silly. It's the only time we see Skyland. I mean, the only time in the entire series we ever see Skyland. We've seen, to this point in the series, we've obviously, technically, the Mushroom Kingdom, the main set, technically, that's Grassland. We've seen Desert Land, we've seen Waterland, we've seen Iceland, we've seen Pipeland, and obviously Darkland is where Koopa lives. You know, Skyland gets a raw deal. I love that world on the game. I love Skyland in Mario 3. And it really got a raw deal in this series. 1 episode out of 26. That's bad.
Yeah. That was the world that had 2 levels. There was the ground portion, and then you climb up the tower, and then there's the whole cloud portion.
Yep.
It was huge too.
It was huge. It was hard as hell, but it was awesome. What do you think of this one as far as plot goes?
I keep thinking that I've seen this before. This sort of plot, the whole reverse gravity and like screw everything up plot, but I can't think of where I've seen it. It's just another episode. I'm just getting more exasperated as the series goes on, because it's just another episode of the Koopas just having a new plot to mess up the day. I'm running out of things to really say about it. It's like, yep, it's another kooky plot. I almost expect like them to put a roller coaster inside of a pyramid or something, and have Dusty suck in hypno gas or something. Oh wait, that's something else.
All right, we're gonna move on to Super Leaves and Patooey moments after this. So, Super Leaves and Patooey's. So, the Koopas have a Razor Up array. Mm-hmm. Interesting. And I do like how the entire series, and I don't remember what Mario World has, but from this point all the way back to Super Show, this is the first time ever that Luigi is obsessing over the food.
That's true.
And I don't quite mind it, because it's one of those things where it does it one time out of Mario's how many times of obsessing over food. Anything you like about this one?
It actually ends with Luigi eating for once.
Yep.
He's like, I'm going to put on some pounds so I never float away again.
Now, all I can think of is the Minions in Despicable Me in the first movie when they hit him with the anti-gravity ray and he flies all the way up into space. Anyway. Alright, for Patooey moments, too many misused words like Dark World. It's Dark Land. Plus, why is the Skyland Kingdom a separate entity to the Mushroom Kingdom? Koopa actually says that he's going to go take over Skyland and have it separate from the Mushroom Kingdom. It's 7? No. Well, okay, 8, yeah. It's 8 kingdoms within the Mushroom Kingdom. There's no... This isn't like, somebody having a 15.0 mega quake and forcing I mean, this isn't Lex Luthor here. We're not forcing California to be its own little state, outside of the U.S. Like, seriously? Oh God, what didn't you like about this one?
It just felt like it was an episode that someone wrote in his sleep or something. Maybe I wouldn't be this harsh on it if it was like, I don't know how many episodes ago, but like at this point, I'm just like, oh my god, these cartoons are almost all the same. It's just like the plot's the same, but you swap out whatever plot device they had before and insert an anti-gravity machine. And you know, every now and then you have the princess rescue the plumbers instead of the other way around. And it's just like kind of paint by numbers plotting, and just kind of, I was kind of antsy during this episode, so I don't really have much else to say.
Oh, Lord. All right. We're going to take a quick break, come back with final thoughts and ratings after this.
Now for a behind-the-scenes look at Geekcast Radio Network's newest show, Talking in Circles.
So, Chuck, Greg, what are you guys thinking for this week's show?
Well, Dan, how about we just talk about the things that we've read or watched this week?
We do reviews like that every week, Chuck. How about a game like Fact or Fiction or The Power of Names?
Those are great, and we're always coming up with new ideas for games. And how about some top fives? You know how I love my top fives.
What about tournament-style brackets, or sequel, reboot, and destroy, who will win in a fight, taking too far, crazy but true news, or...
Yes, it appears we have lots of things to work on.
Listen to Talking in Circles, taking timeless topics in new directions, every Tuesday on iTunes or GeekCastRadio.com, the Geekcast Radio Network.
Hey, Dan, who's the guy with the creepy voice?
Remote Control is the new TV podcast from the Geekcast Radio Network. We'll be covering TV shows and topics from the year 2000 to whenever now is. We'll have special themed episodes entitled Pilot and Season Premieres, as well as finishing finales. We'll also have Season Pass episodes, where we take a look at an entire season of a TV show. Remote Control can be found on iTunes, Stitcher, and www.geekcastradio.com, so tune in, because we are all remote controlled. Alright, we are back. What rating are you going to give Crimes Are Us?
I'll give it a 3. It was amusing.
Yeah, I'll give it a 3 as well. It was really funny. I can only imagine life's rough.
I'm gonna give that a 1.
Same here. Yeah, same here. And Up and a Koopa?
1. I mean, if you've seen other episodes, you've seen this one.
I gotta give it a 0.
Wow.
It just lack of, Cookie's always like, oh my god, this is why I am a super genius, like trying to rip off the Wile E. Coyote and all that stuff. It's like, where's a Roadrunner Kooky can chase or something? It's like, oh god, apparently listening to Beethoven did not help Kooky von Koopa at all. I'm gonna give it a 0 because it just... The only time I can remember this plot being used, it actually happened after this cartoon was over, this cartoon series was over, but it was done much better then, is when, I think it's the Agenda Part 3, I don't know, it was in Beast Wars, where Megatron has a tractor beam and he's going to suck everybody up, and the tractor beam has something added to it. It's a bunch of blades, so he's just going to cut everybody up into a bunch of body parts, or bot parts if you really want to call it. But yeah, no, this one just I don't know. Honestly, at this point, I'm glad we're almost done with this series. I thought I was gonna like more episodes than I do on this one. I really, really was hoping, because the game is so good.
I told you so.
Quiet, you. Thank you for joining us here on Pixels the Animation. As always, get in contact with us or leave feedback for the show. Visit the website, geekcastradio.com, where you can comment on this and all of our other posts. Email us feedback@geekcastradio.com. Leave the show feedback in iTunes. Please do this. Follow us on Twitter @geekcastradio is the network Twitter. Mine is TFG and Mike. What is your Twitter?
Neil Sama.
Become a fan on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/Geekcast Radio Network. You can also find Animation Aficionados over there and the Cian comic over there as well.
Yes.
Call the voicemail line. Tell us the show you're leaving the message for and your name. 502-526-5821. There's a 5-minute time limit. We hope you enjoyed the latest episode of Pixels the Animation. Wish you'll join us next time when we will be reviewing the final episodes of The Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3. I don't even have them here listed. So 7 Continents, 7 Koopas, and True Colors, and Venice Menace.
Something about recycling and
yeah,
Super Koopa. I think that's everything.
Yep. For now, I'm TFG and Mike with
TV's Mr. Neil.
Tune in next time and help us find the pixels in the animation.